Turning your leftovers into puff pastries is probably one of the best food saving hacks I've ever seen. It might seem really hard to make at home, but it's actually extremely easy and the possibilities are endless for what you could put in them. Just throw whatever's left in your fridge in it and you're guaranteed to have an amazing meal. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to use your leftover food, and together we'll be making a buffalo chicken dip puff pastry, as well as a duck, brie cheese, and fig puff pastry that both taste amazing. So follow along and let's get to cooking. We're gonna first get to work on our buffalo chicken, and I'm honestly freeballing this a little bit, so it should be a fun adventure. Okay, so for the chicken, we're just gonna be using some leftover chicken I got from a restaurant recently, and then we're gonna throw it into a bowl, and make sure you're throwing the chicken in the bowl and not the duck like I did here. Off to a great start. Now that's about 1 cup's worth of chicken. We're gonna also throw in that same bowl 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of buffalo sauce. I'm using Frank's Red Hot. This is the best buffalo sauce in my humble opinion. 2 cloves of crushed garlic, 1.5 tablespoons of shredded medium sharp cheddar cheese, 1 to 2 pinches of salt, followed by some freshly cracked black pepper, and a little bit less than 1 tablespoon of freshly chopped chives. Give that a solid mixing with the fork, making sure to break down the chicken and fully mix all those ingredients together until you get something that looks like this, and you're done with the chicken buffalo dip. I would give it a taste to adjust any flavoring, but as you can see here, I liked it. That's awesome. I can't complain about this at all. It tastes phenomenal. And now we're pretty much ready to assemble both of our puffed pastries. I'm gonna grab some puff pastry sheets, removing them from their casing, and then I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of all-purpose flour on my cutting board. Now you should be doing this on the counter. I'm doing it on my cutting board because I think it just looks pretty for the camera, though I think it's bad for my cutting board, so put the flour on the counter and work on your counter if you're making the recipe at home. From here, I'm gonna lay down one of my puff pastries, and then with the rolling pin, I'm gonna roll it out to make it a little bit thinner and make it a little bit larger as well. Now with the knife, I'm gonna split it down the middle in half, and now we're ready to start filling these suckers. I'm gonna use all of our buffalo chicken mixture, plopping it down on one side of the puff pastry, making sure to keep it somewhat condensed and tight in one location. Now I'm gonna rotate that puff pastry towards the camera so it's a little bit of a better viewing experience for you guys. And on this side, I'm gonna lay down a few slices of brie cheese, which technically it's not actually brie cheese. There's some sort of like quesadilla queso I found in my grocery store, but it tastes exactly like brie cheese. On top of that, we're gonna lay down all of our duck leftovers. Now this duck is from a cooking night I had with my girlfriend where we made duck quesadillas, and there's not much left, but there's enough to make 1 puff pastry. On top of the duck, we're gonna spread a little bit of fig jam and then put a few pieces of fresh arugula on top of it. Now it's time to seal our puff pastry. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of water and just wet the tip of my finger and then run around the edge of our puff pastry. You can also use egg wash, which is better, but you know, it just does the same job and it's just water. Once it's a little wet, we're gonna grab our other sheet of puff pastry and then lay it on top of it. You might have to stretch some of the sides so it fully covers it, but try your best and don't worry too much about time. You could take your time with it. Once you have it more or less in the right spot, press down on all the edges to seal our puff pastry closed. And when you get to the middle, try your best to squeeze out all the air safely so that there's no air pockets that could open up when you bake it later. Once it's firmly sealed, we're gonna now split the puff pastry in half. So we have 1 duck puff pastry and 1 chicken buffalo dip puff pastry. Now I'm gonna clean up some of the edges, and then with the fork, I'm gonna crimp all the edges to give it that nice little puff pastry look. I feel like I'm saying puff pastry way too much, but whatever. Now we're gonna head on over to our oven and set it to 400 degrees convection bake, and then we're gonna grab a sheet pan lined with parchment paper and place both of our puff pastries on it. And I agree, they do kind of look like giant dumplings, but either way, to prep these guys, we're gonna get some melted butter and then brush it all over both of our puff pastries. Now for our buffalo chicken puff pastry, we're gonna hit it with a little bit of flaky salt, followed by some shredded medium sharp cheddar and a few finely minced chives. For our brie cheese duck puff pastry, I'm gonna hit it with a few slices on the top, and then I'm gonna sprinkle some sesame seeds over it. Now both of our puff pastries are looking beautiful, and now it's time to throw them in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. 20 to 25 minutes later, our puff pastries are looking beautiful. They've got a nice little bit of color on them, and they're super flaky and soft, but crispy at the same time. If I split them open, the cross section looks absolutely insane for the both of them. Only thing left to do now is try them. Okay, so I'm pretty stoked about these two suckers right here. Both the duck and the buffalo chicken dips smell insane. Puff pastries is a great little way to just experiment with leftovers. But here we go, let's just try the chicken dip one. Dang, that tastes absolutely insane. Now for the one that I'm personally more excited for is the duck. This brie cheese and fig duck. Oh, it's gonna be insane, I'm excited. Oh my God, this tastes better than what I expected. Holy cow, I knew it'd be good, but I didn't know it'd be this good. Oh my gosh, I actually can't stop eating it right now. They're both absolutely insane. Honestly, this is like one of my favorite things to do now with leftovers. Just throw whatever you have left in a puff pastry. You get to experiment with it, and it's gonna turn out amazing, 10 times out of 10. I highly recommend you guys give this a shot with any leftovers you have yourself, or you can copy the recipe I made here as well. Feel free to do whatever you guys want. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you want to check out more videos, I'm linking one right here for you right now. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day. Deuces.